Welcome, everybody, again to another episode of the Mad Bald Man's Garage. You know, been quiet for a few days because we had the patch, and I've been playing. I'm a player first. Lots of cool stuff in the patch. We had a few things get a little bump up, mainly the ice box for some directional weapons. Had some downgrades, the hovers. The jets got a little bit of durability taken off of them. Um, And I have just been enjoying the gameplay, as you have been here in the Mad Bald Man's Garage. So I wanted to talk today, and not only have I been playing, but I've actually um, I've actually been experimenting and kind of tweaking and rebuilding here. So I thought I'd share some of that with you. Um, you guys are all, I know, uh, familiar with the build, that you've probably been on the receiving end of some SmackDown from. This is a really cool build. I've kind of built out the front of it a little bit more to hide these bad boys a little bit better, which has really helped. Everybody likes to take a face shot at you when they see the first batch come out. Um, so was working there, but I've also, as I always am, trying to find a better, cheaper way of doing it, because that's a pretty hefty power score. Um, and to get there, you've got to have these three fortunes, which, if you have a fortune or not a crafter, um, those are hard to come by. So what I did was you can kind of see what happened here, right? The fortunes kind of tossed out. In came the crickets. Not too much change, really. Um, I'll show you kind of what I had to do in the front end, but by and large, there wasn't really any change. I did a little bit of rearrangement in the back end, which we'll take a look at. But man, this thing is pretty cool. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So there she is. Deep setback. Crickets, triple crickets. Um, Good times for everybody. If you're paying attention, there's another bar back there, kind of sitting across the back of the crickets. Helps just kind of keep things from flying up in there and beating around in the cage. You can see that there's a significant difference in durability and power score, which is interesting, right? Power score came down, durability got beefed up, and that's mainly um, to do with the rearrangement of the back end. Um, we're up at 74 pieces now, so I was able to kind of take off some of the lighter pieces and toss on some heavier goodness back there. Had to do a little bit of rearrangement here in the front. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Now before, the fortunes had some side connectivity. These don't. These are only connected on the bottom. And thankfully, the fortunes were 3 tall. These are only 2, so there is a little bit more room here. You can see. I keep it dark intentionally because I don't want people seeing what's going on back there when they're kind of snooping around. What I had to do was you can see underneath I used to have some truck slopes, and these were sitting under, sitting over just a little bit more, one notch over, to match the frame piece that's under there. You can see, right, you can see the frame piece kind of hiding behind it there. Let's see if I can show you from this side. Anyway, there it is. So I slid this over one because this had to sit down on it, and I couldn't just leave it with its winky flapping out in the breeze. So I went ahead and got that front piece to kind of guard it. Works out really nice. Now, also, to get here, I traded out, I had the Colossus engine previously to help with the reload of the Fortunes. But I gave that up in favor of the Stealth works better. The hot red's in here now. You don't get pounded on the approach anymore. You can kind of sneak up a little bit more. Reloading is a little slower, but hey, man, it is a good trade, I think. Um, Going toe-to-toe is fun, but sucks when you get your front end shot off and then you're running around with a lot of durability and no weapons. So try to balance against that. Um, so yeah, man, that's it. So let's take it for a drive. Let's see what happens. Yes, I did. I got they got me on the Four Horsemen package, guys. It's good stuff, man. This is really cool. This area back here is automated when you're crafting. These guys are moving around and welding stuff. I was just having a couple beers here in the Mad Bald Man's garage, sitting on my couch before I started recording. Um, I'm sure you guys have seen videos with, you know, the new test track and all that stuff, so I won't bore you with any of that. Now here's a really cool thing. This is pretty solid, man. And there's my invisibility. Good to see you back. That is solid, man. That's a lot of damage. And to be honest, um, comparable with the Fortunes. Um, Part destruction is comparable, if not a little bit better. And I even missed it with a couple there towards the end, but it 3 hits with the Fortunes, 3 hits with this. I'm not seeing a whole lot of difference. Actually, in battle, I'm not either. With this, actually, it's a little bit easier to control where you're shooting. You know, if something's moving around, you can move with it if you're getting redirected with every shot, versus only, you know, the single volley, you know, click, click, click that you get out of the. That is solid stuff, man. I don't notice any difference in combat, really. I've got a video to show that's actually really cool. There are a couple lawnmowers. One of them was dual harvesters. The other, it looked like it was triple porcupines. Really awesome. Whoa! Bam! Down it goes. This guy's a heavyweight anyway. So, you know, a lot of ammo, a lot of fun with this. So, I'm gonna show you a battle where the lawnmowers made a guest appearance. I want to say in that I was a 1 kill, 4 assists, so again, you know, falls in line with the 3 to 5 that I typically get out of the Fortunes. Still pretty nimble. You'll notice the speed here. We get up to 90, 91. So we are kicking ass and taking names in the speed department too. You know, 2251 in durability. You can kind of climb up walls. Oh, don't do that in battle here. So let's nice look underneath. You can kind of see there's the back end of the hot red with an ammo pack, a couple ammo packs, an expanded one, and of course the Apollo. All right. So let me show you the lawnmower footage, and this is definitely a build that, you know, you can say, well, hey, that's a great build, but I don't happen to have 3 Fortunes. Well, awesome. You can get yourself some crickets because I crafted them. That's another thing I was doing over the last few days. It's a pain. You got to do a lot of farming for scrap. Copper's pretty cheap to buy, but if you do that, you know, rather than paying 300 for them, you can craft them for about 110, a little bit less, if you're really productive in the scrap market. You're going to need to be, pardon me, you're going to need to be a lunatic, because that's where a lot of these pieces come from. But, you know, definitely a doable build. All right, so let me know what you think. As always, guys, subscribe. I know you're watching the videos. I get the Google Analytics, man. I know things. So, subscribe to the videos that we're cranking out of the Mad Bald Man's Garage, and let me know you like them, man. Do some comments. I've only really had a few comments, and if I can come over to your house, I will. I just don't know where you live, and that gets weird. Don't tell me where you live. That's creepy in this day and age. But anyway, over to the footage. Um, I had some issues. My mic decides not to record, so I really hope it's been recording this. But at any rate, enjoy the footage, guys. Good stuff. The lawnmowers were awesome. Um, and we will definitely see you soon here in the Mad Bald Man's Garage because I don't know if you were paying attention, but I don't know if you saw the Firebringer footage going on here. Uh, this is kind of my experimental piece I've got going on. Yes, I know it looks boxy. It's deceiving. There are a couple crossbows on there. Same general platform. An incinerator, yes, very different build than you've seen here in the Mad Bald Man's Garage. But hey, we are all about innovation, R&D, and other letters of the alphabet. So check out the footage and watch for the Firebringer breakdown that will be coming to YouTube near you.